I actually read a really filthy romance, and I can't remember the author's name, where they were like on the horse. I cannot remember.
I have written that scene.
And I'm just like,
don't ask me what. It's in one of the Wanted books, I think.
no, I don't remember reading that scene. Hey lovers, it's Paige. Welcome to As the Paige Turns, where we talk to authors, industry insiders, all the friends in the romance community. And today we have one of my favorite OG authors of the space. Please welcome Kelly Elliot. Woo! I wish we had like a laughter or like a applause. Or, you know, track. You don't even need that because you're a star and everybody knows it. And you've been in this a long time.
I have, yeah, since 2012.
What was your profession previous to the romance world?
I was a mom, a stay-at-home mom. And before that, I worked for an orthodontist for like 10 years.
An orthodontist?
Yeah. But the only reason I had that job is because I was going to school. I was going for creative writing. And my professor said I wrote in circles and I would never become a writer. So I quit school.
What? Your professor was an idiot.
I quit
Clearly.
college. I know.
How many books later?
You know, I had to Google it on the way here. Well, actually, I asked Siri because my husband was like, how many books have you published? And I was like, I don't really know. So I'm like, hey, Siri, how many books has Kelly Elliot published? That came back and said 90. I was like,
90.
90?
Siri? What a
I know.
90 books, that's amazing.
I knew it was 80 something, but yeah, but I'm curious to know because I'm so far ahead in my writing that I've written books that are finished. So I'm curious how many I've actually written.
Do you remember every single story?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say like, wow.
I'll have readers that will send me a picture of like a beautiful verse that they've had tattooed. And I'm like, oh my God, that's beautiful. Where'd you get that from? From Wanted. I'm like, oh my God.
My favorite book.
Damn, I'm good. Didn't know I could write like that.
I remember when we met last year at Book Bonanza, and I was totally fangirling. You walked into the room. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so huge fan. You're like, bleh. I love Wanted. You're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
I know.
I'm like, why? And you're like, it was my first. There's typos. There's this. And I'm like, I don't remember any of that. All I remembered was I emoted, which I don't often do. And I loved this. And it takes place here in your home state.
It does.
Is it, remind me, because does it take place in Austin?
It starts out in Austin, and then it moves to Mason. He's in college, going to the University of Texas.
Well, I remember that.
I don't know if I say the University of Texas.
No, but
there.
you imply.
When you said that, if somebody new comes into my reader group and they're like, where should I start? I've never read her. Everybody's like, Wanted. I'm like, no.
Why don't you love it as much as the fans is what I want to know. Like your fans love, like I just feel even better about myself now because I'm like, she was so embarrassed. And I loved the last book I read, which was Harmony.
Searching for
Harmony, which was great. But this feels like a staple Kelly Elliot to me.
You know, I think the story is great. I think the writing sucks.
You think it does because you're being hard on yourself. And it was numero uno.
I will tell you what, I heard the song from, oh God, what is that guy? Hunter Hayes, I think his name is, the song Wanted. And I was like, I just had this idea for this book. And so I sat down and I started writing it. I finished that book in a month. And it is 156,000 words.
Holy crap.
Longest book I've ever written.
Hang on. See, until I got into the space, when authors would tell me how many words a book was, I was like, that's like Chinese to me, okay? How many pages is it? How many pages will it say on my e-reader or actually in the book when I buy it?
Yeah.
But now I know that is over 400 pages.
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't think anything.
Holy cow, this is over 500 pages.
Yeah, it's a long book.
I read this book quick, too.
It is a long book. And I had my sister and a friend of mine, I said, hey, will you just kind of read this book and tell me if it's okay? And my really, really good friend, Molly McAdams.
Love her.
She said to me, I think you need a pen name, Kelly. And I was like, oh my God, I don't need a pen name. Like, nothing is going to happen.
This is your pen name.
That is my real name.
Oh, this is your real name.
I said, no, I don't need a pen name, Molly. It'll be fine. Nothing's going to happen. It'll be fine. And it just exploded.
Did you self-publish initially?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's when I found for me, is that like, were you reading first before you started this?
Yes.
Like, who inspired? Like, I loved this book so much, and it was back in the day when it was only her point of view before they did dual POV.
Yes.
Is that a thing as we're rewriting it that we're changing into dual POV?
Well, it's dual right now. Actually, even if you go, so as I was writing it, I was reading Marie Force, 𝑾𝒊𝒍𝒅𝒆 Island.
Oh, I don't
Have you read her series?
No.
Okay. Well, it is so good. There's like a million books to it, but I was reading it and she did multiple POVs. It wasn't just the hero and the heroine.
Oh, like
it was
full
the
cast
side
style?
character. Yes. And I was like, I've never read anything like this before. This is so cool.
That's cool.
So when I started writing Wanted, I was like, I'm doing his point of view and her point of view. And you could tell when it clicked to me in the book because all of a sudden you get Jeff's POV and then you get Ari's POV. And that's why the is so long. Because I didn't know, I just had never done it before. And I was like, I'm just going to include them in it. I was never planning on writing a series. So when I started writing Jeff and Ari, I was like, I need to stop this book and do their book. And it's all from Marie Force, from me reading her 𝑾𝒊𝒍𝒅𝒆 Island. And on my third book...
I got to read 𝑾𝒊𝒍𝒅𝒆 Island.
Before I released my second book, Jane Distel, who's a big literary agent, called me on the phone and was like, I want to represent you. I was clueless.
Amazing. On book 2.
Book 2. So I was like, okay, yeah, what do I do? Like,
how can we get this adapted?
I don't know. Just it needs to be.
It needs to be adapted.
So
if
good.
anyone's listening in the world, can we get this? Like, there's so many things that are adapted that I'm like, this.
I think it would be
this could be a great series. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, there are Texans I feel like that would want this book to get made too. I feel like we should.
Too.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because the third book, my agent shopped it to, I think at the time it was just Random House, and they were like, is she going to keep writing in dual point of view? Because we don't think that's going to be a thing.
So this was like the first dual POV I must have read, because I'm like, I couldn't remember that it was dual POV. I just remember that I loved it. And it came out so long ago when everything was single point of view.
Yeah, I think Kristen Proby might have done a dual point of view with her Seattle series. I can't remember.
I just remember when, like, Jamie McGuire, for example, did Beautiful Disaster and then wrote a whole other book in his point of view and what like a hit that was at the time.
Yes.
And then I remember thinking then, I'm like, there should be like both points of view in one. It would be a lot easier for authors, right?
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
To have both in one book. And now it's like, it's almost hard for me not to read dual POV.
I know.
Are all your books now dual POV?
Yes. They didn't want it because they thought it just wasn't going to go. And then the next book I wrote was Broken, which is the first book in my Broken series. And
I feel like I read that one too, actually.
No, this isn't we're going to pass on this. And it spent 2 weeks on New York Times. So I was like,
Are you still self-publishing?
I am. I'm what you call hybrid. So I do have some stuff that's traditionally published, but a majority of my stuff is self-published.
Do you feel like you write differently for the traditional publishers? No, you just write what you're going to write, and how do you know what's going to be traditionally published or what you're going to self-publish?
So when I wrote, the first book that was traditionally published was Never Enough. One thing that I promised myself, and I had an author from the very beginning tell me this, she actually warned me away from traditional publishing.
Because they have a heavy-handed edit.
She was like, don't do it. You're going to sell your soul. And I can't remember who it was, but it was really early on. I think I had just released my third book. And so I knew going in, nothing was going to change my voice. Nothing. And if it meant not ever getting a traditional deal, then that's just what it was going to be.
I love how steadfast you are about it.
So I sent Never Enough to my agent, and she said, nobody's going to want this. So I put it in the back of my last Austen singles. I think I put like the first few chapters. And next thing I know, she's like, hey, there's this publisher. They're interested in this book. So we kind of went back and forth with different publishers, and Mount Lake ended up getting it.
They have. I feel like that is a really familiar publisher in this space,
and it was an absolute pleasure to work with them because they didn't. The first publisher who said they wanted it, they wanted rewrites, and we went back and forth. And I remember telling my agent, "I'm not changing this. I can self-publish this and make money off of it. I don't I would love to have a publisher behind me to reach new readers, but I don't need the publisher.
But it's also, you're marketing everything too. I mean, and now, of course, with social media, I feel like so much has changed and how authors have to work. Like, they're like, I don't even have time to write because I have to be marketing myself in the social media scape so much.
Yeah.
It is a hard balance to do it. And it definitely like hit a different level after 2020.
Yeah.
But let me get back to your storytelling for a minute. 90 books. I mean, one thing I saw, and I saw another author talk about this, was like how she told her audience at the time how each portion of like the book she was writing or whatever book that she writes, like she'll draw from personal experiences.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about like, I mean, this is a book I read, but what's the personal experience here? Because this was heavy. I mean, can you tell me? Is that too much? Am I crossing a line?
No.
I kind of want to know.
So my life is not at all like Ellie's.
No, God,
No.
that makes me happy, actually.
I did grow up with a mom who we used to say she was a binge alcoholic.
Oof.
Because she would go for months without drinking, and then she would go for, a week or two and just binge drink. And she was a different person when she would drink. And there was one time, only once in my entire life, and it was when I was dating my now husband. And she just unleashed on me and just said all these terrible, horrible things. And I know she didn't mean it. I mean, my mom had a hard life. I could write a book about her. And I feel like I pulled from that experience that day, just how I felt towards my mom that day and what she was said to me. And I thought, oh my God, if I had grown up with a mother that was like that all the time, what would that have been like? And so I think that's how I connected on that. But my book, Broken, the hero is very much based on my husband and the way he grew up, and the way the hero grew up is just exactly the same.
Just remind me, because it's been a minute.
He grew up with, the parents passed away. So they grew up, they lived in a house that had no running water. I mean, my husband took me to where he lived, and he's like, we used to take baths with the hose.
Oh my God.
And we didn't have heat. And so and
he appreciates everything in life.
He gave me the idea for Broken. He gave me the first scene of Broken. And then she's from an abusive relationship, which is based on my mom. And her first marriage was very abusive. So that book is very personal. Saved, the second book in the series, she suffered a miscarriage. I suffered a miscarriage. So every book I write, there is always
a part of you,
a part of me in the character that I write.
It makes the book better. I truly think you give more to the book. I mean, what do I know? I don't know about but I believe it does. I feel like you feel it too when you're reading a book from an author, how invested they are in that story reaching you.
Yeah.
For me, when I read a book, and I do notice like you have your protagonists, there's trauma there. There's always some kind of trauma. But I feel like it's cathartic, right? It's healing to write this, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And you can definitely tell early in my career, and I was just talking to a really, really good friend of mine, Kelly Ryan, who's also an author, and I told her, I said, God, the beginning of my career, it was just so angsty in these books, like, and all this shit happened to all of these people. And my last series I just finished, Moose Village, everybody was happy and they met and they fell in love and it was all great. So the book I'm writing now, I'm like, screw that. There's going to be some trauma in here. Like,
I feel like it's boring if it's too happy. Honestly, I mean, maybe it's me. I'm thriving, and in a weird way, it is healing to read.
Yeah.
So, it's because there's going to be an HEA.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some kind of ray of sunshine at the end of all that. Sometimes if I read a book that I know is, like, if it's like a non-romance and there's not going to be an HEA, like, you were talking about your husband and Broken for a second, and like Angela's Ashes popped into my head. Did you read that book? I couldn't stop thinking about that upbringing for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that human being endured that.
Yeah.
So when there's trauma, even in the romances, knowing that there's going to be that light at the end makes me love the trauma even more.
Yeah. And I think that, I say I was younger. I was in my 40s when I published my first book.
Not uncommon, by the way, in the romance world.
No, not. I mean, I I think I still held on to things from my past growing up that came out in a lot of those earlier books. And now I'm in this part of my life where just everything is just happy. And I could tell that I was writing that into the books. And I'm like, I am bored with this. Like, I'm bored with they meet, they fall in love. There's no, everybody was like, no, third act breakup. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I started to find myself writing to that. And I'm like, I can't do this. I need to write what I want to write. And if that's a third act breakup, you don't have to read it if that's not.
I'm always going to read it.
So it took me, I think, a couple of these past couple of years where I was like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And I'm like, no, I don't have to do that. I need to write
what you feel inspired to write.
Yeah.
Do you feel like in your experience, like especially reading there's so many new authors now. I felt like I knew the authors of yesteryear. I knew their names really well. Now there's so many more emerging, and I feel like the books hit a little different than they used to. Do you feel that way too?
Yeah. I felt like the book world 15, 20 years ago was a totally different world.
I kind of do too. That's really where, like, for me, like, how did you find, like, you I know you were inspired by Marie Force, but how was that your entry point? Like, what was your entry point? What was your segue into it?
I mean, I was reading, I fell in love with reading when I was probably 10. And I remember I was 15 years old and we had to read Pride and Prejudice in high school. Wow. And I was like, I want to be Jane Austen. Like, I want to be the next Jane Austen. But then I was like, but I want to write kids' books. So I went through this phase where I was like, oh, I'm going to be a children's author. And then high school came and went, and I was like, romance is where it's at, because that's what I read. And I devoured. My husband would get so mad at me, like, can't you just go get a library card, Kelly? Like,
I would buy a bunch of books
to go into the bookstore? And I'm like, it's not the same thing. But I think when 50 Shades came out, and I even read it to my husband, he had back surgery done.
You read it out loud to your husband? That's a whole other segue of this entire thing, because I mean, were other people present?
No. Well, my daughter probably
if he was in the hospital
around. No, he was at home. But he would make the sounds. Like, during the scenes, he would make the sounds. And I'm like, could you stop doing that? But
what do you mean he would make the sounds?
Like the grunting or the, or the, the whatever. And I'm like, stop doing that. But it didn't embarrass
He read it
me.
to you?
No, I read it to him.
But he was making the sounds?
He was making, like, if I would read a certain scene, he would do it, and I'm like, okay, you need to stop now. But
that is amazing.
I think when that book came out, I always told my husband, I could write. And he's like, then do it. Then just do it. And so I did. So I have to say, it probably was 50 Shades that...
I love that your husband let you.
Oh, he listens to my audiobooks. And
so tell me about this one.
So Love is a Cowboy is... So the last couple of series I've done have not been...
Can I pick it up?
Yeah, they're all small town, but not Western romance. And so I'm kind of going back to my roots.
I love this cover with the cowboy boot and the flowers.
So that's the alternate cover. The couple cover, I didn't have them in stock yet, but I draw so much from music. Like, I listen to music when I write. And Kelsey Ballerina's song Love is a Cowboy came on, and I was like, damn, that would be a good series name.
That is a great series name, actually.
So, and Wild is their last name. And this book, this is something I've never done before, but this is the parents' story first. Every time I finish a series, I always get, please do the parents, please do the parents.
That's true, because in romance, they always say, they always want to romance like their parents in the story. Because, and you know what I love about romance too, which just makes the fantasy so much better, and obviously you do this too, is how everybody in the story has a great romance. It isn't just, everybody has, like, they're like, oh, when so-and-so fell in love, I want it to feel like that for me.
Yeah. I want it to be like my grandma and grandfather.
Yes.
So I just thought, I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to do their story first. And so this is based in late 80s, early 90s.
That's my jam. That's our generation.
I mean, I graduated in 88, so I'm like, writing their story felt like I was kind of back home, in a sense. And
trauma in this book? No.
Yeah, a little.
You had to throw a little sprinkle.
There's a little in there. But I love the story. I was really, really worried. And it went out to some readers from my review team. And I'm like, can you read this ahead of time? And they loved it. So I was like, oh, thank God. Because no matter what, 90 books or not, every time I release a book, I'm like, this is it. This is the one that's going to take my career. This is the one that everybody's going to hate.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. The book I just finished, I was like 80-something thousand words, and I told Kaylee, I think I need to trash it. She was like, don't trash it. You're fine. Just keep going.
When you get feedback from like your art teams, like for this and everything else, like what are you looking for? How do they address it? Like, do you have specific questions? I'm always curious about how authors take those feedback moments or their beta readers. How does that work?
So early in my career, I used beta readers, and I do not use them now.
Why not?
Because the saying, too many cooks in the kitchen. So you can have one person that's like, oh, I love this scene, and another person that's like, I don't like that scene.
It's subjective.
It is very subjective. And so I just decided probably about 9 years ago, I was done with beta readers. So I write the book. It's just me. Nobody reads it while I write it. And it goes to a developmental editor. And I rely on her to be like, this is wrong, you should do this, you should do that. I don't always take her advice because in the end...
Just good to have that other set of eyes.
So when the book is done, I will pick like 5 people from my review team and I'll say, hey, can you read this? Tell me if you find any errors. And half of them will come back with, oh my God, I loved it. But another thing with beta readers is most of them would just say it was great. Because I think they don't want to make the author upset.
You want the constructive feedback, of course.
Yeah. So when somebody will email me and be like, I'm so sorry, but I found you interchanged this guy's name 3 or 4 times. I'm so sorry. I emailed you. I'm like,
wait,
my
interchange
God, no.
somebody's name?
My last book, I kept calling him Randall and Randy. Like within 2 paragraphs, it was Randall, Randy. But no, thank you for telling me that. Like, no,
you don't want to confuse the reader.
Please reach out to me. So they only read it just to really kind of be the last eyes on it, like if there's any glaring errors, but I do ask them for their feedback. So
tell me the different tropes in the book.
So it is obviously Western romance or cowboy romance. Friends to lovers.
My favorite.
Found family.
Another favorite.
Small town. And that's all I can think of. Top
I know,
of my head.
tropes are like also a thing. When is it coming out?
It comes out January 20th.
January 20th?
The day before my birthday.
Where can we get it? E-reading? Is there a narrator already? Is this have that already? Audible?
Yep, it's going to be on audiobook also, and we'll release the same day.
It's dual narrator.
It is.
Are all your books dual narrator? It's important. I think it's important. Well, we're playing a game. We always do a fun game segment.
Okay.
And we call it, what do we call it? Swoon and Score.
Swoon and Score. This
is Ride a Horse or Ride a Cowboy, just like the song says.
Okay.
In each round, we're going to talk about tropes, pet names, or male main characters, and whether we'd rather ride him or just go on horseback.
Gotcha.
All right. Round one.
All right.
Southern tropes. Single parent. Yeah, I would ride him. Yeah. Second chance. One bed.
Oh, yeah.
One horse.
Like to ride
we have to, we were both riding
both
on it?
Yeah.
I actually read a really filthy romance, and I can't remember the author's name, where they were like on the horse. I cannot remember.
I have written that scene.
And I'm just like,
don't ask me what, it's in one of the Wanted books, I think.
No, I don't remember reading that scene. But there's a lot happening with a live animal, and that just...
Yeah. Well, after I wrote it, I was like, I should have researched that a little bit more.
I know it was my first book con actually, and I met that author there, and I was like,
funny.
I'm gonna have to look up that author because it's like that's the only time I ever read a sex scene on the horse, and I was like, there's dirt and there's a live animal, like my vagina. I don't know. I just couldn't get over that factor. Brother's best friend.
Oh, yeah.
No, I know my brother's friends. Sorry, Dave, love you, but no. Best friend's brother, yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Childhood friends to lovers.
Yeah.
Ooh, small town rivals.
Oh, yeah.
I like the angst.
Yeah.
Okay, round 2. Southern pet names. I'm afraid to read these.
Okay.
If he calls you honey,
Oh, yeah.
sweetheart,
Oh, that's my go-to.
sugar, darling, I feel like it's contrived. It depends.
Yeah,
It depends on like
Depends.
really where he's from. If it's too contrived or if it's sincere.
yeah.
Baby,
No.
yeah, no. Angel, definitely a no.
No.
Doll, it's not
Oh,
1957. Buttercup,
Oh,
no.
Well, my husband calls me Buttercup.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah.
But no for me. Peach. It depends on if he's meaning it seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah, or if
that's-
he's like making fun of me because I'm not that nice.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Sarcastically, no.
Yeah, sarcastically is a no.
Yeah.
I don't think that, you know what it is? I have to imagine my own spouse saying these things.
I do too.
And my own nickname is on this list. And he's from the South. He calls me, now I'm going to be embarrassed. He calls me lover.
Oh.
Hey, lover. And that's kind of why I always say, hey, lovers, because he's always like, lover, lover. In all the cards for our
love
anniversary,
that.
he writes, hi, lover, or hey, lover.
Oh. I just get Kel. Like every now and then.
Kel. My best friend growing up's name is
Buttercup.
Kelly, too.
Yeah, he calls me Kel pretty much all the time.
Okay, Southern male main characters.
Okay.
The cowboy,
Oh, God,
obviously.
yes.
The mechanic, yeah, it could be filthy.
Yeah.
The coach,
Yeah.
it's going to happen.
I've written all of these.
The pastor's son.
Oh, the pastor's son? Hell yeah.
See, I just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think in my mind he's like underage, but maybe not.
No, put
What
your
book?
horse down.
Hang on, what book are we thinking of with the pastor's son?
I don't know, but I may have to write it now.
Okay, I like that attitude. That's a go-getter attitude. The country music star, that's gonna happen.
I wrote that one.
The rodeo champion, hello. What was that hot rodeo movie with Clint Eastwood's son when he was the rodeo? It was so good.
Not Clint Eastwood.
No, it's
Scott
Scott Eastwood. He was so cute in that movie. What movie was that called? It was a Nicholas Sparks book, wasn't it?
Nicholas Sparks, and it was called
The Longest Ride. He was
Yes.
smoking hot in that movie.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm like, I'm old enough to be his mother probably, and it's not good. But you know what? He was so hot. The sheriff, that could happen.
Wrote that.
And the veterinarian, it's like a Hallmark movie.
Wrote that.
It's like
God, I've written all of these.
The innkeeper or the veterinarian.
Yeah.
I didn't know that the veterinarian was considered a Southern male main character. That feels more Hallmark adjacent to me, but I
Could
like
be.
it. We do this cute thing called Happily Ever Faster, which
Okay.
what made your heart race this week? It can be anything. It doesn't have to be love inspired.
So this happened yesterday. My husband and I went to go see a movie.
What
And we've
movie?
been married going on 31 years,
Woo!
I think.
Yay, Mr. Kelly Elliot.
Something like that. It was, oh my God, the one.
Who's in it?
was
Glenn Campbell? Running Man?
Running Man.
I just pulled that out of my ass. I was right.
Yeah, it was Running Man. It
wasn't
he
good?
wanted to see it. I wanted to see Regretting You. He wanted to see Running
I'll
Man.
go see Regretting You with you.
Okay, because he didn't
Let's
want to
make
see
it
it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either, obviously. So it was okay. It was just a lot of gore. Anyway, he reached over and I think he just touched me or touched my hand or something, and my stomach fluttered. And I was like, oh my God, I still have the stomach flutters.
The butterflies.
Yeah.
The butterflies.
So didn't necessarily make my heart race, but it made my tummy.
That matters, and that's romantical.
Yeah.
Even in The Running Man, which is a
Yeah.
random movie. It wasn't even a romance movie. that
No,
would
it
do that.
wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Did you see the original Running Man?
Yes.
I loved the original Running Man.
liked it.
Richard Dawson,
Richard Dawson, and who was
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah,
And
he's
he
on
was
the
a
money
huge
in this
star.
movie. Yeah.
At the time, but I heard that Glenn Campbell's version was more like the book.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. You want to hear what made my heart flutter? And this is not good.
Oh, okay.
Ironically, I was also supposed to see The Running Man with my husband and kids.
Okay.
But my middle son needed to go to the emergency room because he was bleeding. And so I was at the emergency room, but he wanted to see the movie so badly. And at the same time, my washing machine broke and I had to go to Home Depot after the emergency room. So I was able to get my middle son to the movie theater. And I walked him in and got them all popcorn and then got myself one, even though I wasn't staying for the movie. It's like, ooh, there's caramel corn in there. I'll take that. It was, I can't remember which theater it was, but it was like up north.
Wow.
Yeah, they had like cheese and caramel and they had all like fancy flavors you could pick. So I'm like, I'm going to get one to go. And then I went to Home Depot and missed the movie, but they all saw it. But I'll tell you, I will see Regretting You with you. I have not seen that, and I clearly need to see it.
And our guy is in it, Scott Eastwood.
Oh, he's smoking hot. Is he the guy?
He's the guy.
I don't think I realized that.
He's the one guy.
Can we fan cast this really quickly before we wrap up? I know, please, can we fan cast this?
Of them?
Yes.
Oh my God, but they're young.
I know, it's hard to think of like young people. Okay, let's fan cast it from like our time of like 80s and 90s. 'Cause that's how I have to fan cast whenever I'm doing the book club with these girls.
Okay. So the girl would be, you know who would have been perfect for her? The girl that, oh my God, she's got the big bright blue eyes. She was in Baywatch.
Oh, Pamela Anderson.
No. The second Baywatch.
I don't know.
Alexandra, what is her name?
Oh, is it Alexandria Daddario?
Yes!
Yeah.
She would be my Ellie.
I don't even know who that is. Okay, I'm going to have to look her
that
up.
Would
Okay.
be Ellie.
Okay, and who's he? He's Scott Eastwood. I'm sorry.
He would be Scott Eastwood.
He would be Scott Eastwood. Even in this cover photo, he looks kind of like him. He does.
Because Gunner.
Yeah, his name's Gunner.
His real name is Drew, but he plays football and he's the Gunner
They call
position.
him Gunner.
Yeah. He's just so hot.
He's smoking hot. Oh, I love you. I love that you came in. Can we hug?
Yeah, sure.